Hello, everyone. I'm missing all of you very much. I hope you're staying safe and that you're social distancing. I hope you're still getting outside and having some fun, but take care of your business. I want to talk to you about the book, Persons Unknown, that section, where we are really, as readers, figuring out what's the motive. What was the motive for the crime? Why were the Clutters killed? Was it robbery? The agent Dewey is actively searching to find out who the persons unknown are, even though we as readers, of course, already know that. So there's a lot of dramatic irony. On page 83, if you want to go there with me, there's an important clue that Dewey is aware of along with his agents that they don't disclose to anybody. But it's about like 3/4 of the way down the page. He says, as a matter of fact, one of the photographs, a close-up of Mr. Clutter and the mattress box upon which he lay, had already provided a valuable surprise. Footprints, the dusty trackings of shoes with diamond-patterned soles. Now, if you're putting it together, you already know whose footprints those are. I'm not going to tell you. You should know. And you'll figure it out if you don't already know. But that's going to be a key piece of evidence that's going to be able to link the murderers to the crime. Okay, let's look at page 87. On page 87, we look and see, is there a motive? Up at the top it says, we figure there ought to have been at least 50 of that left. Some say nobody would kill 4 people for $50. So we think about what happened that night in the house, and you're going to know more in the third section, but ultimately those people were all murdered and there was only fewer than $50 taken. So that's very sad. Some of you have asked me about socioeconomic status. So I want you to look at page 88, and I'm going to share with you a really good quote that explains that. Think of socio as social and economic, okay? So money. So how you are viewed by society, but also how much money you've made or earned, how well off you are in the community. So that's socioeconomic status. We see a huge contrast between Dick and Perry, their low socioeconomic status, with like Herb Clutter, so well respected, worked so hard to have the American dream with his family. So on page 88, there's a quote about halfway down the page. It says, feelings wouldn't run half so high as this had happened to anyone except the Clutters, anyone less admired, prosperous, secure. But that family represented everything people hereabouts really value and respect. And that such a thing could happen to them, well, it's like being told there is no God. Yes. There's Mr. Fid. He misses you all too. So.
Miss you guys. Stay safe.
Okay, don't. God, you're okay. Yeah. All right. So there you have a really good quote showing socioeconomic status. Again, Mr. Clutter, so admired, well off, worked so hard, very high socioeconomic status. Okay. I'm sure you're picking up on the fact that Dick and Perry kind of act like a married couple. And I know that's weird. You guys might think that that's not, it's very different. They do use language like that. So there's kind of like an undercurrent of a theme with those two, that they're like this married couple. He refers to him, Perry always says baby. They call each other honey. So I know you're probably picking up on that, and that's okay. I mean, it's kind of a subplot, I guess, if you were. All right. I'm looking at my notes. Okay. Let's go to page 92. Okay. And I've got a good quote for you to help support the theme of the perversion of the American dream. I'm hoping that you guys are seeing the Clutter family with the American dream and Dick and Perry with the perversion of the American dream. So Perry has this crazy dream that has tons of imagery, and it's a great quote for you. He says, Since I was a kid, I've had this same dream where I'm in Africa, a jungle. I'm moving through the trees toward a tree standing all alone. Jesus, it smells bad. That tree, it kind of makes me sick, the way it stinks. Only it's beautiful to look at. It has blue leaves and diamonds hanging everywhere. Diamonds like oranges. Diamonds are symbolic, right? They're representing his greed, his lust for money. That's why I'm here, to pick myself a bushel of diamonds. But I know the minute that I try, the minute I reach up, a snake is going to fall on me, a snake that guards the tree. That fat SOB living in the tree. I know this beforehand, seeing Jesus. I don't know how to fight a snake, but I figure, well, I'll take my chances. When it comes down to it, I want the diamonds more than I'm afraid of the snake. I think that's a very revealing dream. It's a reoccurring dream he has. And it's definitely showing you that he is willing to do whatever is necessary that's illegal to get his dream, which is the perversion of the American dream. Okay. For these first 3 sections, you are going to be writing a journal and taking a quiz over each. For the 4th section, I'm going to have you guys do those body bios that were in my room. Hopefully you kind of remember them. I did not take pictures of them before I left, so I don't know that I can show you them, but I'll give you a rubric and everything. But one of the qualities on that rubric is to think about an inner and an outer character, what the inner character feels, what the outer character feels. And I wanted to give you an example of that on page 108. So on page 108, and obviously you're probably picking up on the fact that we see so much of Perry. Perry is the most well-developed character in the book. Capote was definitely fixated on him. We learn so much more about Perry than we ever do with Dick. So on page 108, well, first of all, irony here. We have Dick saying, it's about halfway down the page, Dick says, "Deal me out, baby. I'm a normal." There is nothing normal about this guy, okay? So definitely ironic. Nothing normal about him, but he's constantly, that's like a catchphrase. "Deal me out, baby, I'm a normal." We learn more about Perry. He's had this traumatic childhood. Alcoholic mother, lived in an orphanage, beat by nuns, used to wet the bed, still wets the bed. At the very bottom, though, we learn some inner and outer. So Perry says, in some ways, old Perry was spooky as hell. Take, for instance, the temper of his. He could slide into a fury quicker than 10 drunk Indians, and yet you wouldn't know it. He might be ready to kill you, but you'd never know it, not to look at it or listen to it. Dick once said, for however extreme the inward rage, outward Perry remained a cool, young, tough, with his eyes serene and slightly sleepy. So inner Perry could be boiling, ready to kill somebody, but yet he'd be like, super calm. You learn on the next page on 109 that really Perry had told Dick a long time ago that he had killed this black man. And he did it really to impress Dick, okay? And Dick thinks that Perry is this natural born killer. You'll learn a little bit more about that when you keep reading. Okay, let's go to page 110. I want to show you a quote for the dynamics of family life. The very bottom of the page, look at his family. Look at what had happened there. His mother, an alcoholic, had strangled to death on her own vomit. Of her children, 2 sons and 2 daughters, only the younger girl, Barbara, had entered into ordinary life, married, and begun raising a family. So Perry's whole childhood, he is just, Barbara's the only person in his family who entered anything normal. And so, he had a hard life. I will be curious to know if you guys, I'll probably post this as a stand and defend, but if you feel any sympathy for Perry. Wait till we get further into the book, but do you feel any sympathy for him as a character? Okay. Let's go to page 125. Something very interesting happens here. Okay, Dick and Perry have been in Acapulco, I think, and Perry gets his guitar stolen, but then they have run out of money, so they're going to be traveling by foot or by thumb. It's on page 125. They clearly could not carry with them more than a few shirts and socks. The rest of their clothing would have to be shipped, and indeed, Perry had already filled a cardboard carton, put putting into it, along with some bits of unlaundered laundry, 2 pair of boots. One pair with the soles that left a cat's paw print. The other with the diamond patterned soles. Hopefully you remember that from before. So he's going to ship these belongings to himself to Las Vegas in care of general delivery. So he's going to pick them up eventually when they get to Las Vegas. Okay. If he hadn't done that, I don't know, but he did. On page 132, let's go there. I think that's where there's a really good, you learn a lot more about Perry, about his mother and father and their very volatile, violent relationship. The mom was an alcoholic, like we talked about. There is a letter from his sister Barbara. That's, I guess, actually probably on page 143. So I would definitely look at that letter. She writes to him. No, it's not on 143. Sorry, guys. It's on page... Okay, 138 is where the letter starts. It's a very good letter. She writes to her brother. And then his friend, Willie J., who he really respects and thinks that Willie J. is very bright. Much like himself, he considers himself to be very intellectual, very superstitious also. After his letter that he has from Barbara, Bobo, same person, you will hear Willie J.'s letter, and that's like what he garnered off of Barbara's letter. So definitely read both of those. Okay, I'm trying to keep this short for you because I know that's a lot. I want to look at page 113. I think I skipped over this. Let me see if this is the one I wanted to. Oh, yeah. Okay, Mark. Don't be weird. All right. So on page 113, this is really disgusting. And so, you know, Dick's got this whole, deal me out, baby, I'm a normal. Okay, so at the bottom of the 112, he says, boy, he said. And it was what he had always said after running down a dog, which was something he did whenever the opportunity arose. Boy, we sure splattered him. Now, I know I got a lot of dog lovers, myself included. I know a lot of you are dog lovers. This man is not normal. You will learn things about Dick, and they are disturbing. He was not a normal person by any means. On the spectrum, he's way down from us. So I hope you're enjoying the book. If you read it and get into it, I think you're going to learn a lot. I think it's very insightful. It's a very different book. So keep doing your e-learning. Stay healthy, stay safe. I hope you guys can get outside once in a while, providing your social distancing, and have some fun and enjoy your time with your family. Email me when you have questions, you guys. I get right back to you. Again, use my school email, though. I see the stuff on Canvas, but only when I'm in Canvas. My email comes up automatically, and I see that every day, all the time. So I'm just quicker, with that kind of a response. All right, bye.